Hey, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren. If you're new here, the real star, of course, is Hunter. He's been MIA for a little bit because he had surgery last year, but he is still very much the star of the show, let's be honest. Welcome if you're new here. Today we are talking... Goodbye, Hunter. He's got better things to do, I guess. We are talking about a brand that is relatively new to me that I discovered end of last year. Really excited about because I have fallen in love with some of their products. So I thought we would just kind of talk about the brand. I would just do a really quick look with the products that I have. And yeah, I just give you my overall thoughts about this brand because I love a lot of what they do. They don't do every kind of makeup. It's not like a brand that has foundation, concealer, all of that. Actually, do they have concealer? I don't know if they do. But this brand actually just recently made its way to the US. So before it didn't even have a US website, my initial order with them was from Everglow, which is a Japanese website where they have all these beautiful Japanese brands. I can't go on there anymore because I spend so much money. Like, there's so many beautiful things. Also, Ritzy has decided that he's actually the star of the show, so just expect a lot of cattails. When you see hair on stuff, it could be mine. Chances are it's the cat's. But the brand we're talking about is Addiction Tokyo, and as I mentioned, they kind of just recently launched their US website. So I ended up not just getting stuff from Everglow, which, you know, for shipping from Japan was not that bad of a wait. I'm waiting on something from China, which is taking much longer. But I wanted to share how beautiful some of these products are. So I'm going to talk about pricing. Again, I'm going to do some swatches, some blush swatches, a couple of the eyeshadows. And yeah, I'll just talk about it. This is just going to be a little bit of a laid back video. I also have a beautiful lip oil from them. So yeah, Addiction Tokyo, let's talk about them. So the first thing that caught my eye from this brand, definitely their blushes. Their blushes, when I saw them and I saw them on, you know, in the pictures, I was like, those look amazing. Those look beautiful. And they are. So I went down a rabbit hole with this brand and I ended up getting 3 blushes and two that could be considered highlighters, less blushes, but these are the blushes that I have from the brand. And again, I'm going to be doing swatches of these just so you can kind of see because they are just really pretty. And then these are the 2 more highlighter-esque ones. They don't call them highlighters, but they are pretty much. They're, again, really, really pretty. And I picked up some of their eyeshadow singles too. So we have some of those in front of me. We've got just some really beautiful colors. We've got these guys. We've got some like really cool shimmers. And the thing with, you know, a lot of Asian beauty brands is that their pigmentation is a lot less intense than, say, American brands. As Americans like pigmentation. So it's been interesting to play, especially with the eyeshadow, because it's not something I typically go for. I tend to go for a very pigmented look, but I've just really been enjoying these eyeshadows. I also have 2 of their palettes. Now, I've talked about these in my most beautiful makeup video, but these were a collection that came out at some point last year. I want to say spring of last year. And we have an eyeshadow palette and we have a face palette. So this is the eyeshadow palette. Again, it's just really, really pretty. It's just interesting the different depths of pigmentation that every color has. It's been like a pretty cool journey to just play with them and again like figure it out. And then this is the face palette that they have, but I included these in my most beautiful makeup packaging edition because I just thought the packaging was so pretty. But this little guy is pretty cool. It comes with 2 blushes and it comes with what could be either kind of a more neutral blush or potentially a bronzer, depending on your skin tone. But yeah, really, really pretty stuff. So I'm just going to show you the swatches really fast. I swatched a few of the eyeshadows just so you could see. And then I swatched the blushes because I had to. And yeah, let's just get into the look after that. Okay, really quickly, I just want to show you swatches of the blushes / blush highlighters. And we are going to be swatching first Pink Bliss, then Sky Flower, Foggy Rose, Aurora Veil, and Beyond Light. idea of how the eyeshadow swatch and the different formulas. Why is everything covered in cat hair? We have Midnight Drive that I'm going to be swatching, Happy Tears, and Night Groove. And this is the multi-tint, which is more of a cream. So the multi-tints are really interesting. I have two. So I have Night Groove and then I have Lost Star as well. And they're cream, almost like jelly-like. So they're definitely interesting pigmentation. They feel very unique. But I am, for the look, I'm going to go into Lost Star. And I'm not going to use any sort of eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to kind of use this as a primer. And as you can see, it's not super pigmented. It's got a light pigmentation. So I'm just going to put it all over my eye for right now. But I think these are kind of excellent as an eyeshadow base. So you don't have to go in with like an additional product if you don't want. I just find that color to be a really good like transition color too. Like you can just use this color in particular with everything. It's like a grayish brown almost, but just it's really nice. Like if I wanted to do a smoky eye, this would be a good base for a smoky eye, or just by itself if I wanted to do a really bright red lip. I like it by itself. What's amazing about some of their formulas, like a lot of their eyeshadows, specifically Midnight Drive, which was kind of what started my obsession with this brand, because it's just like this cool minty green. Again, not quite as pigmented as I hoped it would be, but we're just gonna go in. I'm gonna just put some of this in my inner eye. But what I really fell in love with was the formula. The formula is just the smoothest texture I have ever felt in eyeshadow. And now not all of the formulas are the same, but consistently some of their eyeshadows, the less shimmery ones, and not the jelly multi-tint ones, but most of their eyeshadow and their blushes are this just beautiful silky formula. And again, it's not very pigmented, it's going on very light, but I did warn you. And next, I'm gonna go into Moon River. I'm gonna just use my finger on this one. And this one is just really pretty. But again, it doesn't have a whole lot of base color. So that's what it looks like on my finger. And I'm just gonna pat that on the rest of my eye. So it gives it a little bit of a purplish color and a little bit of shimmer. I do feel that if you want to live a little dangerously, no, not dangerous at all, but you can use a lot of these eyeshadows as highlighters as well. I think they would work as both. But yeah, so that is just a very simple eye look, super easy to do, that you can do with this brand. And I think just for a little bit of an extra boost, we're gonna go in with Happy Tears. This one I have not actually used. This one is relatively newer in my collection, but I want to put it kind of in my inner corner. And of course, I still need to put on eyeliner and mascara. I would not survive without those two things. And then we're going to talk about the rest of the collection, because the highlight of Addiction Tokyo, I think, is their blushes. They're amazing. So let me do my eyeliner and mascara, come back, and we can move on to the rest. Okay, mascara, eyeliner is on. Let's move on to the blush. I love all these blushes. I've been using them quite a bit, which is why my project pan has suffered a little bit. But we are going to go ahead and go into Skyflower, I think, this time. The one that is kind of my go-to is this Pink Bliss one. That one I reach for all the time. But yeah, let's do Skyflower for blush today. And I know it sounds weird when I say like touch your makeup, but oh my god, touch these if you buy them. It is just the smoothest formula. And it goes on beautifully. It just melts into your skin. It's kind of why I like talking about it. It's why I decided to do a video, because I'd never heard of this brand before, and I wanted more people to hear about this brand. Yeah, just completely melts into your skin. So pretty. But I'm going to pull out one of these as a highlighter. Very different. Very different. But I think we're going to go into Beyond Light because I really like this one as a highlighter. Just sometimes if I don't want to wear blush, I'll just do bronzer in this one. And it's just really pretty. And again, just like the blush, the highlighter just melts into your skin. It's just so easy to apply and it just looks so beautiful. And you know, a lot of the times highlighters, especially the super shiny ones, will kind of sink into your pores and draw attention to them. And I don't feel like these products do that at all. I don't feel like it's highlighting my pores. I feel like it's just melting into the skin. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna do a little bit of lip oil. And this is actually a lip plumping oil. And I have mine in the color You'll Be. And that one's really pretty because it has little like shimmers in it. It's very pretty. And that is my super fast look with my Addiction Tokyo products. I don't know if this sounds like a sponsored video because it's not. Obviously, I'm a very tiny channel. I've not done any sort of sponsored videos. So I just want to talk about brands that I've discovered that I really like. And because Addiction Tokyo is so new to the United States, you know, again, their US website just opened pretty recently, I just wanted to talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about pricing just in case you are curious, because I will have these products. I'll have the brand's website linked down below in case you're curious. But let's start with lip plumping oil. This is probably the most expensive product at $26. And then with the eyeshadows, depending on the formula and the finish, they range from about $20 to $22 per little single guy. And then the blush, again, star of the show, $26. Totally worth it. I have to say, the blush is fantastic. If you do want to try out anything from this brand, the blush is where it's at. Now, where these products fit into my collection, because again, as I mentioned, it's a little different from what I typically go for. I typically like eyeshadow that's super pigmented, but there is a place for these eyeshadows in my collection, and that is definitely when I want to do a bright, vibrant lip. I've talked about this before, but typically I like to kind of emphasize one part of my face. So either a really bright eye look, a really bright cheek, or a really bright lip. I mean, you know, occasionally we do more than one, but with lip and eyeshadow, I try to do one or the other. I just like really emphasizing the colors in one area of my face, especially since I'm really pale and I can go into clown territory really fast. So that's where the eyeshadows live in my collection, as kind of a little more low key so that I can high key something else. Now, the blush, it's just something that I can wear every day, and I actually do wear them quite a bit to work, especially, again, I talked about this, but Pink Moon has just really been my go-to. It's, oh, so pretty, so pretty. So I wear it to work. I wear them all the time because, again, it's just the effect that I really like. I like that kind of seamless melting into the skin kind of look. It's not something that you have to try really hard for. It's just, it's easy when using these products. So I just really enjoy this brand quite a bit. I am definitely excited to see what else they come out with in the future. I probably don't need too many more of their single eyeshadows because, again, it's not typically what I go for. But if they launch new blushes, which they do typically come out with kind of new seasonal products, if they come out with new blushes, I will be all over them. All over them. They're so cool. And we didn't really get to talk about the two palettes that I have from them. They're both gorgeous. Again, with the face palette, you're dealing with the same formula in the blushes. This is the blushes. It's that smooth, seamless, just beautiful color. Oh, they're so good. This is a great travel palette, actually, I would say. And with the eyeshadows, these ones actually do have a little bit more color, especially this brown down here. It's actually a bit more pigmented than a lot of their other shadows. So just so you get an idea, that's what the brown looks like. It's just, again, that one has more pigment, but with the more colorful shades, again, you're dealing with a little bit less pigment. So it's more of a sheer look, which I think is very common in Asian beauty brands. That is my little overview of Addiction Tokyo. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know if you've heard of this brand before, but if you have, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you've tried any products from them because it's just a really fun, beautiful brand. Clearly, all the makeup, at least in my opinion, is really well made. Like, the formulations are amazing. It just feels great on your skin. So really fun brand to play with, and I just wanted to talk about them a little bit because I've been really enjoying using their products. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!